In the grand kingdom of Eloria, Princess Elene lives in the constant, overshadowing presence of her extroverted parents. Because Elene relies entirely on her family's attention to feel real, their constant preoccupation with the court leaves her in a growing emotional vacuum. This can lead to a state of actualized invisibility. When the connecting lines to external validation are severed, the central node of identity begins to lose its physical density. Malachor, a predatory sorcerer, looks for exactly this kind of internal decay. He targets those whose sense of self is already beginning to flicker. Malachor uses her own self-doubt as a tether, pulling in a dark mist that transitions her from feeling ignored to being literally unseen. The transition is devastating. Elene reaches out to her parents, but her hands pass through them like smoke. To them, she has been erased from the room and from their memories. In this world, Malachor's magic doesn't create the princess's isolation, it simply makes the kingdom's existing indifference permanent. Elene is now a ghost in her own home, wandering the halls in complete isolation. She eventually finds Anara, a sorceress who has been forgotten and turned to stone, but who still possesses the sight to see through Malachor's curse. This is the shadow mirror. It functions as a feedback loop, absorbing a victim's negative energy and projecting it back as an amplified reflection of their own worst fears. Anara sacrifices the last of her essence to break a piece of the mirror, infusing the shard with light. This causes the sorceress to fade into solid stone. To reverse the spell, Elene must carry this glowing shard into the Forest of Whispers and locate the mirror's central core. The shard applies the only light in the forest, a physical carryover of Anara's belief that Elene still exists, even when no one else agrees. The Forest of Whispers is an environment of shifting illusions, designed to disorient anyone who lacks a clear sense of direction. She is immediately swarmed by malicious fairies. They don't just attack, they mock her invisibility, trying to wear down her spirit. While Elene is fast enough to outrun the swarm, the forest's primary obstacles remain internal. She eventually encounters a ring of witches. Like Anara, they are able to see Elene clearly despite her condition. The witches reveal the forest's logic. Illusion-based spells cannot hide a courageous heart. Sensing her progress, Malachor alters the forest's geometry. He traps Elene in a cyclical path, looping her through her own doubts until her resolve is exhausted. Elene focuses on the light within the shard to anchor herself. As her concentration holds, the enchantments break, and the trees physically part. The shifting paths of the forest lose their power the moment Elene stops looking to the environment for a way out and starts trusting her own intent. At the center of a murky lake, Elene finally finds the shadow mirror. Malachor appears, but he doesn't use a physical weapon. Instead, he fills the air with hyper-realistic illusions of her parents, showing them laughing and happy, as if they are better off without her. The mirror relies on the victim accepting these images as truth. If Elene agrees that she is worthless, the mirror's power becomes absolute. But Elene holds on to the memory of the witches and Anara. She recognizes that the indifference she sees in the mirror is a reflection of Malachor's malice, not her own reality. Recognizing the objective proof of her own value, independent of her family's neglect, is the one thing Malachor cannot counter. Elene steps forward. She isn't waiting for her parents to find her, or for the sorcerer to show mercy. She raises the mirror against him. The artifact cannot process the sudden surge of her self-assurance. The shadow mirror overloads and shatters into 1,000 pieces. The destruction of the core breaks Malachor's influence over the kingdom. The victims are freed, and Elene's presence is instantly restored to the minds of everyone in Eloria. Shadows and illusions are designed to feed on doubt. They vanish the moment Elene decides that her existence is no longer up for debate.